Hi and welcome to another episode. Basically some more big box Amiga stuff. Forgotten that I got these sort of falling down the back as it were. So we've got AMAS, the Advanced MIDI Amiga sampler. Now I had bought this in the hopes of getting the software as well, but sadly all I got was the gear. So this is their version of a MIDI interface. Plugs into the back of the Amiga through the serial port. And you've got your ins and outs and throughs. But this one also does sound sampling, not just MIDI. So hopefully I can get hold of the software one day. Nothing that fantastic about it really in the realms of what's out there, but as you can see there's some interesting looking software, so I could do with getting that. But something else from Microdeal, the Master Sound, which is a sampler. So let's have a look at the back. Again, not much information. Maybe could do a clean the box down a bit. Seems to have got damp somewhere along the lines. Not through me, because all my stuff I always keep dry, but you know, these things happen. But basically it's a sound sampler. I wonder if this software would work with the other gadget, since it's by the same people by the looks of it. But another gadget that plugs into the back. Oh, there's even a cover disc which shows that you could have done MIDI, but that's for MIDI, not sound sampling, so I could really do with dumping that in a different box. Maybe that'll work with the other stuff. And the manual. Nothing that fantastic apart from telling you how to do it all. And then we have this one, which is another one by Microdeal. And this one has a load of text on the back and a couple of screenshots. But this one has a MIDI interface. So it's got out and through. So you can have two outs or use it as a through. You can MIDI or serial. So if you want to send information straight out the back. Some software this time. Oh, and even a blurby poster. Master Sound order form. So you give it to a mate to get them to get the other bit of kit as well. Or yourself, I suppose. So some more floppies. Firm backed manual this time instead of just a bendy thing. Some more instructions on how to use stuff. I know I'm going through these quite quickly, but there isn't a whole lot to show off from these apart from actually hooking them up and getting the Amiga going, but at the moment my Amiga is not even plugged in, as you notice. And then on to another big box. This one though is by Apt Development. They really go for showing you what they've got on the back and everything like that. I open this one up. Oh dear, that's not good. Oh, it's a shame. The spring seems to have gone. But a few floppies. Looks like there's an update disc anyway. Some more cover discs. Whoever had this before? I actually remember having these discs way back when. Comes with an audio cable. They seem to have thrown in how to do Amiga Music and FX, which is obviously from a magazine at some point. And then this particular manual, it's another stiff book. But this is just another audio sampler or digitizer, whatever you want to call them. Even bother to stick it in a fancy box. Sticks in the back, a couple of phonos. And that's that for that one. So they've gone a little bit extra to make sure it's in its own little box. It's a shame that that particular floppy's mechanism's messed up, but as I say, these things happen. I mean, they are ridiculously old. I probably could get it in and see if we can get the information off and then just never use it again, but I'll try to make sure it's covered for now. So let's get this music stuff out. This one reckons you can do with over 32 special effects to use, your music will never sound the same twice. Well, what were the tracks? There was no limits? I doubt. Yeah, anyway, that's a whole different thing. And then 3D construction kit. Again, I've had these for absolutely ages. I remember having it on the Amiga myself as a kid. I also had it on the Spectrum, but this is an updated version. This is version 0.2. So hopefully it didn't have some of the problems that the first one had. But yeah, they showed you all this sort of stuff and what you think you can do with it. But yes, it came out on the Amiga, ST, PC, even on 5 1/4 for the PC, Commodore 64, Amstrad, Spectrum Plus 3, and the Spectrum 48 and 128. But yeah, I had it on the Spectrum in the dreams of dropping out of school and doing something fancy. Yeah, right. So it shows on the back. Now, it's amazing to think that, again, they're just photos of actual screens. They're not screen grabs, they're just photos. You can see how pale they are. That's how they did things cheaply in the day. So let's have a look on the inside. So you get one floppy, the manual, registration card, and the videotape. They did do gold looking ones, but this is a black one. Got a lot to get your head around. I used to know this inside out once upon a time. Never actually got anywhere in making a decent game or anything, but I could program in it. But then I bought this again because, yet again, silly dreams of making something. But one thing I never had back in the day was 3D Construction Kit 2. And the biggest difference from this was that you could make spheres. It's pretty much the main update to it. Let's have a look on the back. This box is sadly a bit bashed up and everything, but it's good enough. Yet again, showing you what you can do. It did make things a little bit easier on making things, and you could have more sort of polygons, as it were, to do stuff, but it was something I desperately wanted. But at the time I moved on to PCs, but the PC I had wasn't good enough to run this, so I never got to play around with it. But here again, silly dreams of doing something with it. But this time on the flap, shows you all this information, but now you've got pullouts. Dun dun dun. Showing you how to make a kitchen, how to make stuffs, world basically, and then be a games master. So an interesting concept of getting you to look at what you can and can't do while you're stood in the shop having a look, wondering if it's worthwhile to buy. Now this was supposed to come with a videotape as well, but sadly it didn't come with it. But it's not the biggest of deals because I don't have a video player, and I realise it's become retro to get one again, but I just don't have the space to have a big bulky video cassette recorder. But this manual, as you can see to the last one, is a lot more spaced out, a lot easier to understand. But yeah, this time around it never came out on the Spectrum or anything like that, because it really was, you needed your 16-bit computers, and it came on 2 floppies, at least with Amiga. So again, dreams of making something wonderful. So I was going back to the Spectrum next, but basically there was something I wanted to do on it, and it turned out it doesn't work straight away, so I have to do a fix. And I can do the fix, but I want to make sure I get the steps right before I make a video. So I hope this was interesting for another lot of big box. This is the end of everything I have for the Amiga big box wise, I think. Any other big boxes I have now are for the PC, and I don't think I'll bother making a presentation on them. So as always, happy gaming.